Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. My name is Hunter Foreman. I'll be the pilot for this smooth ride today. Expect nothing but good vibes for your entire flight, so don't strap in and enjoy the ride on Flight 96.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Hunter Foreman, and today, as you can tell by this episode, K.O.D, a real cool episode. I want to get real personal. There's a lot of things that I'm gonna address. I'm gonna lay it all out on the line for this one, and it's ironic that this is a J. Cole kind of themed episode. While we're not going to be talking about the legacy of J. Cole, which we actually will. I take that back. We actually will at the end of this episode. I'll go over some of the things that I think J. Cole does very well and some of my favorite songs and albums from him. But for the first section of this episode, I want to talk to people who really support me. Because I want to ask each and every one of y'all to do me one favor. I want you to share this specific episode with someone you love. Whether it be in a relationship, whether it be family, whether it be friendship. I want you to share this episode with someone you love, because I think there's things in any type of relationship that go unsaid. Actually, there's things that, that go unsaid in the relationship with yourself. And I want to speak about those things. Tying with this somewhat theme, J. Cole said in what I believe is called the cutoff. Excuse me if I can get the actual song name. Yes, the cutoff. Time will tell who is on my side. It's crazy how one small phrase can send your thoughts just like crazy. I listened to this album three times. There is a lot of things that he spoke about that a lot of people are really scared to speak about. Cheating is one of them. I personally can't speak upon cheating because I've never been. Not that I know of. I don't think I've ever been cheated on. I've never cheated myself. There's things in life that you go through with people that sometimes you don't ever speak of. Whether it be you see a friend going down this road and you want to say something and you just want to, you have this horrible knot in your stomach that is telling you to say something and save your friend from whatever personal hell or personal demon or personal it could be a disguise. They could be thinking it's good and it's actually bad. You want to tell this person, like, this isn't the right way to go. You want to save them. You want to put your arm out and save them from themselves but that's not the right thing to do. The right thing to do sometimes is to let the people you care about go through trials and tribulations by themselves just to figure out what needs to be done. I've seen my friends go through depression, sadness, breakups, deaths in the family, divorces, and a little voice inside of me always says, they need you. But sometimes I can't be there for them because I'm not in their shoes. I'm not somewhat connected to the situation. I have to let them live. I always tell people, let me figure it out by myself. Let my feelings get hurt by themselves before you tell me something that I don't want to hear. Sometimes I have a friend, Ashley, and the key part of, she's been on the show. I have a key part of our friendship is we always keep it a buck with each other. We always do. If she doesn't like something that I've done, she'll speak up, and vice versa. But there comes a time when you have to let that person who at this point is your family, blood related or not, they mean a lot to you. Sometimes you have to let your friend drown in order for them to learn how to swim. Now, you won't let your friend die. No. Sometimes you have to let them learn by themselves before you tell them the lesson that you're teaching them, or the lesson that's being taught. I said I was going to get personal, and I am. My rapport with other people has changed dramatically since 2015. In 2015, I was depressed. It was the lowest I've ever been. And people asking me, whoa, what's wrong? What's this? And I don't want to talk about it. I don't want an anchor. I want to swim by myself. I don't want somebody to lend a hand to me at this time. But sometimes you need help, and that's okay. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you any less of a man or woman to ask for help. But for me personally, I'd rather get thrown in the water and say learn how to swim than ask for help and learn everything beforehand. I know that sounds really weird to people, but let me make this comparison. Say you're in a relationship and you know, and you think you know that this is the best relationship for you, and then you start to see signs of things, of your environment changing around you. If your friends are not calling you as much, your parents aren't speaking to you as much, your outside world of this relationship starts to darken. There starts to be a giant dark cloud over your social life. You know, your friends, your buddies, you know, all that, your girlfriends, whatever. And then you get a call from one of your friends that just couldn't take it anymore and just says, listen, we can't be around you anymore. This relationship has completely changed you. We don't like what he or she is about. So until you change something, whether it's her or you, I'm just going to back off a little bit. In their mind, on the other side of the phone, or wherever, or in their eyes when they're speaking to you, it is the most hardest thing that they have ever done. They don't want to tell you that. They don't want to tell you that they don't want to give you an ultimatum. But at some point, you have to put your foot down and say, listen, we need change. And either I do it or you do it. You pick. Sometimes people choose their supposed love significant other over their friendships, and some people choose their friendships over their significant other. There's no right or wrong answer. I can tell you that for sure. There's no right or wrong answer. I'll tell you that right now, because sometimes change is good. And that's what people need to understand. I didn't want to go here, but my theory on racism is very simplistic. It basically comes down to what? To this. People don't like change. Why is there racism going along? It's because people of certain races, whether it be white, black, Asian, don't like change. They don't like that someone's different than them. One person thought that there would be one race for the rest of eternity, for the rest of life, basically, until somebody different comes along. And they don't know how to react to that because it's change. They want everything to be the same. They don't want anything to be different. So when someone sees somebody of a different color or a different nationality enter their world that they thought was theirs, they panic because they don't know what this person is capable of. They don't know if they're gonna hurt them or help them. And they react negatively every time. And it really hurt. Coming from a mixed kid, it really hurts to say that. It really hurts to say that some people just don't like change. That is the undertone of racism, in my opinion. People don't like change. People just simply don't like the fact that there are other people on this earth that are of a different skin color, a different nationality. They speak a different language. They have a different culture. They want things to be the same. They want things to go back to whatever the simpler times was, when certain races owned other races. And they thought that was okay, when in reality it really wasn't. And you can look at this from whatever pair of glasses you want to. This is just my pure opinion. The undertone of racism to me, again, is that people don't like change. They want everything to be the same. They don't want anything to evolve. It goes hand in hand with everything that's going on right now. Whether I agree with the president or not, people don't like the fact that Obama's out of office. People also think that this is a good move for everybody. People are still even mad that maybe even Bush is out of office, or Clinton, or whoever your favorite president was. That's just it. But it's still the same undertone. You don't like change. Let me ask you a question. For 1 year, you did the same routine, right? You did the same routine. You woke up, you went to work, you got off at a specific time, and that gives you a few choices, whether you get to go hang out with your friends, or stay at home and catch up on some Netflix or something. And for a whole year, your life is great, right? Your life's great. What happens? You probably get fired from that job, right? You got to go look for a new job, and all of a sudden, your regiment, your schedule, your everyday process changes. Naturally, that's going to affect you if you aren't prepared for it. Because some people, some good people, I think, are prepared for change. They're prepared for different kinds of people to come into this country or come into this world and give us great things from their culture or from their perspective or whatever. They know that things aren't always going to be A, B, C, D. They could be A, B, B. You know what I'm saying? Like A, D, C. You know, they know that there's going to be some sort of shift, some sort of change. And to me, I look at those people and I want to shake their hand and say, you are a good person because you aren't afraid to evolve. That's the thing. Y'all cannot be afraid to evolve. Change is going to happen whether you like it or not. In the next 4 years or 8 years, somewhere down the line, we're going to get a new president. Somewhere down the line, there's going to be a new phone. Somewhere down the line, there's going to be a new art. There's going to be a new rap artist. There's going to be a new computer. Everything changes. There's going to be a new trend. There's going to be a new dance. Everything changes. Everything keeps moving. Everything evolves. But some people just want to stay in one spot. And that's heartbreaking to me, that they don't want to know what the future is going to be like. I want to know what the future is like. Are we going to have flying cars? Are we going to have teleportation? I want to be on this planet to see if I can even get those answers. I hope we do. I hope we do. I hope we evolve to a very high technological world where almost anything. Our phones are the closest thing to. I think Logic said this. I said our phones are like the closest thing to God. If you need to know something, boom, your iPhone is right there to give you that information. It can do whatever basically you want it to. The technology is evolving. Everything is evolving. But the fact that some people just want to stay in one place hurts me. Because to me, I don't think they want to better the world. They want to keep it stagnant. They want to keep it in a bubble. I want the world to keep spinning. I want years to go by. I want times to change. I truly think, whether it's in 100 years, 1,000 years, 1,000,000 years, 10 years, 50 years, whatever, it doesn't matter. I truly think one of these days we are gonna get by the indifferences we have between the different races across the country and somehow come together for some common goal, whether it be whatever. I just think one of these days racism's gonna end and everybody's gonna look at each other as equal. That's what I want. I don't ask for anything. I don't have any specific agenda. I just want the world to be a better place and it to be peaceful. I want to be able to have a YouTube channel still and still be able to speak my mind on whatever I want to and say whatever I want to, because freedom is the most beautiful thing in the world. The fact that you are free to do whatever you want. You can start a clothing line tomorrow. No one's going to stop you. You can do that. And that's what it took for me to get out of my slump. In some weird way, in some oddly weird way, this channel saved my life. Because if I didn't feel that creative rush in late August, I wouldn't have done anything. I probably just would have just crawled up in a ball and wished the world would forget about me. But I didn't. I got myself up and dusted myself off. I made myself a better person. While I didn't do it alone, I feel like I did a big chunk of the work. I think that's what. I think that's why I'm very glad I can provide for myself. Although I have advantages. That won't be here for like not even a year, maybe for the next 8-9 months, maybe 10 months. Those advantages won't be here. I have 100% confidence that I'll be able to survive, because guess what, people? I'm prepared for a change. Is it going to be hard for a while? Yes, very much so. But am I going to sit and bitch and moan about how I can't do this anymore and I can't do this anymore? No. Because it's life, people. Life gets harder. Life gets harder. And sometimes you gotta learn to like the hard times before you can love the good times. Now that I've spent about 25 minutes talking about myself and getting personal, I want to talk about the J. Cole album. K.O.D. 3 subtitles: Kids on Drugs, King Overdose, Kill Our Demons. This is by far the most experimental J. Cole album I've ever heard in my entire life. He hit a lot of great points on this album. People say, people, you know, there's people who say it's not as good as 2014 Forest Hills Drive, and I don't think that's what he was going for. I think 2014 Forest Hills Drive will go down in history as one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time, and to me, I think it's J. Cole's best line of work. Born Sinner at a solid second. This is third to me. Over For Your Eyes Only and Cold World, the sideline story. This is albums. I'm not talking mixtapes. I'm talking just albums. I believe K.O.D is a solid third. I think, and I'm gonna say this. I hope people who have played video games, and specifically Mortal Kombat, understand this reference, but I think this is the Shang Tsung of albums. J. Cole took a lot of people's flows and used it as their own weapon. Like he took somebody else's gun and used it on them. Not in a bad way, but not in a bad way. This is still very original, but he basically said, "Oh, this is what y'all on right now? Okay, I can do that. I can do this. I can make a song like that. I can make a song about money and all that." And he did, but he did it to J. Cole style. It's crazy because that's why I call it the Shang Tsung, because while it's its own character and its own identity, I think that certain things happen for certain reasons, and this album came at a perfect time in life, especially during the summer, where a lot of reflecting will be done by not only like students but I think people are going to start to unwind and feel a little better about themselves. I always think about that when summertime rolls around. I always think that people will kind of bust out of their shells and be who they really are, instead of, you know, worrying about work and worrying about school and worrying about your relationship and all this other stuff. They think that they think certain ways, and I think this album not only helps you open up your mind, but I think it also helps you learn some things about yourself. I really think so. I really think this album is very inspiring. It's very well put together. And the fact that J. Cole had very minimal production besides, I believe, T-. He's an OVO producer signed by Drake. Did Kevin's Heart, which, if you guys haven't seen any of the music videos J. Cole's been releasing, I highly recommend that you go and listen to them. The great thing about I think J. Cole and why he is such a huge inspiration to me. Not only have I said that people who I draw inspiration can do a lot. Like J. Cole can produce, J. Cole can rap, he can do a lot of things. He can bring a lot of things to the table. one thing that I think I admire about him is that he's just here for the music. He's not here for the bullshit. He's not here for the drama. He's not here for any of that. I think he's here strictly for the music. And he comes out, he says his piece, and then he goes back into doing whatever he does. He lives a regular life. You know, people want to try to figure out about his personal life, whether he has a daughter or not. I don't think that's our business, to be honest. I don't think any of these celebrities' personal lives should be any of our business. But the fact that that's what media is now saddens me, and I think he defines that privacy is still a thing. You know, I believe he's married right now. Actually, I don't know, nor do I care. I just love the man's music. He's an amazing musician. He can do things that I wish I could do whenever I made music. I wish I could have been as motivated as he was about making music, but that was a different chapter in my life. K.O.D. again, I will put the link in the description. I believe the whole thing's on YouTube, so I guess I'll put up the link for the whole thing, for people who want to listen to the whole thing. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, SoundCloud, Go, whatever, wherever you get music. I highly suggest that you listen to K.O.D. The whole album's amazing. It's very experimental. A lot of gems in that album. But yeah, I'm glad I did this episode. I feel really good about this one. I have a lot of amazing things coming up. A lot of goals that I had set for myself a long time ago will be fulfilled and will be accomplished this summer. Oh man, I cannot wait to share some of the great things I have in store for you guys. I'm happy with who I am, and you should too. This has been Flight 96. I'm your host, Hunter Foreman. Y'all know the slogan: one love.